Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today I've got something kind of stupid and goofy for you, but it might be useful to you if you ever have run into this problem. Let me show you what we got going on here. I've made this little arbor over on the lathe. It's an R8 arbor, and it's for mounting, in this case, a gear cutter, but of course I also mount slitting saws on it. And I made it long because I need to be able to make larger diameter gears than I can with the little short stubby one. So I made this on the lathe, I made it between centers, I put a lot of effort into making sure it was like perfectly concentric and all that neat stuff. But the spindle in the mill has to be perfect in order for this piece to run true, even if this piece is perfect. So what we're gonna do today is let me show you why this actually really matters. See, this part here drops in there, it's obvious. Let me tighten this up and I'll show you how much run out we got, because last time I checked this, I had about 5/1000ths of an inch of run out. Well, what that means is if I got 5/1000ths of an inch of run out, every time my cutter goes around, really there's only one tooth doing all the work and the rest are just floating through the slot, you see. And so I want to make this run true. But I can't make it run true on the lathe because really what we've got to do is make this, we need to screw this up so that it perfectly compensates for how the spindle is screwed up. And so let me show you here. Last time I did this, I got about 5/1000ths of an inch of run out. Let's see if we still have about 5/1000ths of an inch of run out. Oh, let's see if I can do this. I'll get my head in the shot. You don't need to see my head. There's nothing impressive about my head. All right, let's get this to where, let's see where we are. Yeah, it's not a perfect setup, but for this case, it will do what we need it to do. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, there's about our lowest, which as you can see is about 5/1000ths below zero, or we can go up here and we'll make it go 5/1000ths above zero. See? And so, like I say, if I mount this on there, it's gonna just, like I say, basically one or at best two teeth are doing all the work. And so, what we're gonna do here is a trick that a lot of people have never seen, and maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, is I'm gonna machine this using the milling machine as a lathe. And what that'll do is it'll mess up this piece so that it'll actually work properly. And of course the problem is once I do this, if I put this arbor in a different milling machine, well then it'll be wrong in a different milling machine. So anyway, let's see if we can get everything to work here. What I did here is I just took a lathe cutter. This is just a Atlas tool holder off my lathe. Put just a kind of a universal cutter in it so I can cut both the vertical part of this and the horizontal part of this without having to change the cutter. At least that's the plan. But the first thing we're gonna do, if I can get this all lined up, that looks about right, is I'm gonna go ahead and machine off that shoulder because we're not gonna need it anymore. Once the bottom of that's flat, we'll machine a new shoulder, and hopefully this will run true. The joys of an El Cheapo milling machine can never be understated. They're always so awesome. All right, let's see if this works. Ooh, hey look, we're making chips. Ha ha. It's madness. Madness, I tell you. I'm taking light cuts because that sticks way out there, and we'll see how it... But seriously, doesn't this just seem so wrong? Like, no, You should never do something this stupid. And it's like, really, welcome to my life. Okay, our shoulder is completely machined off of there. Could probably get a little better finish on that, but we're going to be taking most of that off anyway. But now I need to set up a DRO and stuff, so I got to use that. Back in a minute. All right, here we are back for take 2 of more mill madness here. I got my little dial indicator set up down here. I use that as a cheesy ass little DRO, which works pretty well most of the time. And in this case, it'll help me hit our number here. Make big pieces of metal into little pieces of metal. There we go. All right, can you guys see the little step forming down there? Oh yeah, you can. You can see that. Yeah, it's as far in as my lens will go in this setup. But either way, there's our little step. And it should be oversized right now, because I'm going to make the finish cut traveling in the Z. At least that's my plan. And we'll see if that works on this particular crazy contraption we're doing. And yes, I wish I could. I wonder if I can fit my micrometer in there. It'd be much, much better if I could measure this with a micrometer rather than a pair of calipers. Oh yeah, we got just enough sticking down. That'll work. That will work. All right, where are we? We're right where we thought we'd be. We're basically at 1 inch and 12, thereabouts. 1 inch, 12.5 thousandths. And we're going down to 1 inch. That's what that diameter needs to be. So we need to knock off a whopping 12.5 thousandths. So let's see if we can make that happen. Oops, gotta unlock it, Chris, otherwise it doesn't work. So 12.5 thousandths. Let's try taking 6 thousandths. Because of course, really we're taking 12 when we take 6, because we're cutting the radius, right? We all know how that works, right? So, actually I'm gonna go 5, just that way we can sneak up on it. That way hopefully I don't screw it up. And we will plunge down in the Z this time, which might be a little hairy. I don't know how it's gonna work on this mill. Guess we'll find out. Hey, we're taking metal. Oh, isn't that so cool? Isn't that so cool? Down to 130. That should be it right there. Now let's see how close we got. Let's see if we got close at all. Let's see if Chris took off too much metal. Don't say that. Right. Oh, we're a thou fat. Actually, we're not a thou fat, we're a half a thou fat. Which, you know, the hole in that cutter might be a half a thou fat too. So rather than take off that half a thou, let us see if this fits. Because ideally these would be like a light, ow, that's sharp. A light press fit rather than being like loose. Oh, I think it's actually gonna go. Maybe not. I could probably get it on there if I put the cap on there, but then I'd never get it off again without a press. Okay. We'll take a little bit more metal. All right, let's see. I didn't even see anything coming off. I don't know whether that actually did anything or not. Let's find out. Ooh, well, it's showing right on an inch. I think it's showing right, just about right on an inch. The regular micrometer isn't ideal for measuring something quite like this, but it's what I've got, so it's what we're going to use. Let's see here. That'd be pretty snug. I'd like it to be snug. I just don't know whether I want it to be that snug. You know what? I think that's good enough, don't you? Oh, that's awesome. All right. Now, of course, I probably can't get it back off. Oh, no, there it'll go. It'll go. That is about as perfect of a fit for doing this as I could hope for. And I'll bet you anything. I really need to stop using that phrase. Ah, what happened to my focus? Did we lose focus? Camera, come on. What are you focusing on, you silly machine? All right, time for the moment of truth. Let's see if this thing runs true. With what we just did to it, I don't see how it couldn't run true, but sometimes things surprise you. There could be something about this that I didn't realize. All right, let's make sure this time that the camera is focusing on what we're doing instead of focusing on the stupid wall. See, you can tell I don't have a cameraman. It's just me and my cat. All right, let's see if we can get this bad boy to make sure it focused on what we want it to focus on. Focus. All right, here we go. Let me spin this around and we'll see if it has any variation. Look at that. I'm gonna say that's perfect. I can't hope for better than that. It's a little rough, but that's all right. Or maybe the little probe is just chattering a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Way better than the 5 thou run out that we started with. So that's how you can use your mill as a lathe to true up an arbor. I hope you found that trick useful. If you did, if you thought this was clever or interesting or even mildly entertaining, slap a comment down below. I read all of them, and it's always nice to get a little feedback from people. Anyway, so that's it for this video. Take care of yourselves. I hope everything's going awesome and wonderful in your world. I suppose I should ask you to subscribe. I always forget to do that. And you know what? If you want to subscribe, do. If you don't, that's okay. And the other thing on that is, if you know anybody that you think might be interested in the things I'm doing on this channel, let them know about it. It'd be cool if I could actually get over that 1,000 subscribers and actually start getting YouTube to pay me for this stuff. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but you know, hey, we can all dream, right? Anyway, so take care of yourselves. Have a good one. I'll be dropping another video, probably in a day or two. We're gonna be making a gear using this cutter and that arbor, because I need to make a gear for my lathe so I can cut 18 TPI threads. And so stay tuned for that. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.